G'day homebrewers, thanks for tuning in. My name's Jeff and this is a vertical tasting of Cooper's Vintage Ale. So what we have today is I'll be sampling the 2022 vintage 1 year after I purchased it. I have cellared it in a cupboard in my kitchen. More than likely the completely wrong place to be cellaring it, to be brutally honest. I've got a wine fridge, but all the bottles lie flat, so I'm not sure you can lay these bottles flat. I'm not sure it's a good idea to do that. Probably better off in the wine fridge, to be brutally honest. They're probably cellared faster than they should in 12 months, so I'm interested to see what this is going to be like. And now this is a vertical tasting, but you notice there's no other bottle here because this is 7.5% and I want to enjoy the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm getting the 2023 version in a couple of days. So I'm going to do the first part of this video with the 2022, and then I'm going to record the next session with the 2023 and just splice them together. And we'll see how my tasting notes compare. So let's crack it, get it into a glass, and we'll go from there. So, nice pop. One of the things I've always said about Cooper's Vintage Ale that I don't particularly like, probably the one thing that I wish they would change more than anything else, is the body of the beer. I always find the body a little bit too thick. And I've said that before, I find it a little bit too thick. I've made my own Vintage Ale before. I dropped a little bit of yeast in there, I was trying not to. You know, yeast is a tonic. It's a great tonic. Good for your stomach, good for your guts, right? So I typically, what I do with the Cooper's bottles is I've got yeast in there. I try not to get the yeast in the bottle, but I'll have a bit of a tonic after I pour a nice clean pour. Oh, still getting a bit of fruit on that. Like hop fruit. Oh yeah, there's a bitterness. All right, so straight away, first thing, straight to my nose, that's got age on it now. It smells like Cooper's with age on it. Cooper's Vintage Ale with a bit of age. And you're starting to get that kind of, the nose that it gets when it's been at least 12 months in the bottle. But like I said, mine's probably not cellared correctly, so take that as it is. The cupboard that it sits in gets above 20 degrees a lot, which is not ideal. I've got to find a better place to put it. And even Cooper's themselves recommend that you put it in a basement cellar, any cool cupboard. Try and keep it below, try and keep it at cellar temperature, which is around 13 to 14 degrees Celsius. That's the most you want to keep it at. And like for instance with wine, red wine's typically cellared around 13 degrees, or probably between 11 and 14. You want to keep that cellaring temperature down because you want to age it slowly. You want those flavors to mature slowly. You don't want high temperatures or high swinging temperatures. So I'm picking up the malt. It's a bit sweet. It's a bit fruity. I feel like I'm still getting some residual fruit from the hops. I can't remember what 2022 was. I think 2022 was Cashmere from memory. I think it was Cashmere and I don't know, it's Cashmere and something else. I'm pretty sure they did Cashmere. Cashmere is supposed to be a bit of citrus, melon and tropical fruit, something like that. All right, I'm going to go in. My nose went in too. Honey. Oh yeah. So I'm getting the honey kind of vibe, which is the aging. That's, yeah, typically you get that kind of honey vibe when you're got a little bit of oxidation going and they're starting to age. I think it's just aging too quickly. To be honest, I think I need to find a better place to put my bottles. We don't have a garage or a cellar or an under-house area that we can put things to keep them nice and cool. And I can't put them in the wine fridge. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of sherry. I do. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of that sherry note. And definitely on the palate, I'm getting honey. Ooh, like a bit of vanilla. Something that almost reminds me of coconut. That could be the Cashmere. Cashmere could push that a little bit. It's a weird hop Cashmere. I'm not 100% sure what you get out of it, to be honest. Some people say certain things and then some people say other things, and I guess it all depends on the lot you get and when it was harvested. So yeah, so the only other thing I'll say about Cooper's vintage ale, because it's got a bit of controversy lately. Some people really don't like the most recent versions of Cooper's vintage ale, and I understand that. My first try of any of the vintages was 2019, and it was actually really nice. I really enjoyed 2019. And then 2020 was completely different. It was in your face. It was really rough around the edges from the start. And I just don't think it even really aged well, to be brutally honest. But 2021, they bounced back, and I think 2021 they had Eclipse in it. And I enjoyed that fresh. And I started to enjoy them more fresh than I did aged. And I actually drank a few of those fresh. And the same with 2022. I actually enjoyed 2022 a lot more, I think, when it was fresh. It was fruity. It was like a big IPA almost, but with a big body, of course. And you have to get past that big body. And it was really nice fresh. And I think probably better fresh than aged. I think 21 and 22 were probably, for my liking, for my palate, better as fresh beers than they were as aged beers. So yes, look, I'm still trying to work out my palate and my nose as far as being able to pick out particular aromas and describe them, especially with aged beers. I do struggle a bit with aged beers, but I said before, I get a bit of honey. I'm definitely getting honey, and I'm getting something that smells almost like aged character, and I can't put my finger on what it is. But yeah, I really don't think 2022 is going to improve much, especially my batch, because of where I've stored it, obviously. So I'm probably just going to have to cut it and drink through my 2022s, just get them done. And I'll buy some 2023. Like I said, I'm going to buy some in a couple of days, and I'm going to find a better place to store my 2023 batch so I can have a better aged beer in the first couple of years. And yeah, see what difference that will make. And I think it'll make a really big difference, especially in these small bottles, because they're only 375 bottles. So they're going to age quicker because it's a smaller bottle to start with. They're going to age quicker, and then having them in a place where it's the temperature swinging too much in summer, especially, and in a kitchen too, like in a kitchen cupboard, the back of a kitchen cupboard. It's a kitchen, so you're going to be heating things all year round. So, yeah, probably not the best place. It smells malty. It just smells malty with a hit of honey. Big malt flavors. There's a little bit of residual fruitiness there that I can detect from the hops. So the hop fruitiness hasn't completely vanished into nothing. It's still there, just heaps milder. And it just smells aged. It does smell like an aged beer. On the palate, it's sweet. You get the honey on the palate. You get the maltiness. You definitely get the bitterness. The bitterness kind of just builds across your palate as you take a sip. The bitterness just builds. And it just gets higher. The volume goes up and up and up and up and up with the bitterness until it really starts to dry out your palate. It's like it's drying it out right now. It's really drying it out. It's like, oh, I can't keep sipping it because it's drying my palate out. Yeah, anyway, so that's the 2022. It's malty. It's still malty, but there's definitely age character really working its way into it at a rapid pace. At that kind of rate, I don't think in 3 years' time that'll be worth drinking. So I'm probably going to just have to cut my losses with the beers I've currently got because of where I've aged them, where I've stored them, and just drink them right now before they get any worse. Because yeah, there's definitely that honey note that you get from aged beer, like quite aged beer. So yeah, I mean, if anything, it's more like a 20. It's more. I mean, it's 2022 vintage. The kind of age I've got on it's more like it's probably 2024 now, not 2023. So it's probably got 2 years of age in the first year. So that's what that one is like. And right now I'm going to cut to the next video. Well, not next video, but I'm going to cut. And what you're going to see straight away is me drinking the new version. And here it is. 2023 version. I got that 3 days ago from Dan Murphy's in Australia. And just been in the fridge, 3 days, chilling down. Now, I've already tried this. I've already had a bottle of this. We had a brew meeting last night for the Western Sydney Brewers. And yeah, I took a bottle with us, or with me, sorry. I took a bottle with me and we all tried it at the at our homebrew night, our meeting night. And it went down very well, I'll just say that. But I'm not going to spoil any more. Let's pour it out and I'll let you know what it tastes like. I'm actually going to stop there. Good. Ah, look at that. I managed to not get any yeast in this time. So that's the 2023 version. I'm not 100% sure how that compares to the 2022 I did the other day. Obviously I don't have one with me to do a side-by-side, but oh yeah, that's a really nice kind of orange. You can see that. Nice colour. Nice colour. If anything, I actually think that colour, compared to previous years, is probably a little bit more orange, a little bit less reddish. From memory, Cooper's vintage ale tend to be a bit redder. But anyway, I'm going to go in with my nose, and straight away, it's fruity. It's fruity. To the nose, it immediately smells. Oh yeah, it smells really nice. It smells malty and fruity. Kind of like a red IPA, you know, like how a red IPA is like malt forward with big fruity hops. That's exactly how this comes across on the nose. And this year, yeah, they hopped it this year with Talus and an experimental hop. I don't know, it's still got a hop number. I don't know which one it is. You have to look it up. It's on their website. There's a video where they talk about it. But Talus is the main hop. And my goodness, that is fruity. Almost dank. It's sweet fruit, like sweet melon, kind of honeydew melon, danky, malty, really, really intense, kind of really solid flavor, aroma profile coming off the beer. Yeah, it's really good. And this is what I said when I did the first half of this video the other day. The last few years of the Cooper's vintage ales, I've been preferring them fresh than aged. Now, part of that is how I already explained the fact that I don't age my beers too well, and I need to find a better location for them to age more slowly. And I'll probably get a better end result if I age them slowly, obviously. But still, I still prefer, in the last couple of years, I've still preferred the fresh vintage ale. Oh, it smells good. I just want to drink it. I'm going to go in, I'll have a sip. Oh, oh, oh yeah, that's really nice. Oh, and then the bitterness kicks in at the end. The bitterness really kicks in. It's a nice bitterness too. It's just kind of ramping up on my tongue, on my palate. It's not too heavy a bitterness actually. It's actually not bad, and it's kind of drying out now. Wow, it's fruity. This year's vintage is very fruit forward. It's a big fruity beer. It's like ripe melon, a little bit of banana, tropical fruit, but you know, good banana, tropical fruit. I think the banana pretty much comes from. Oh, this is my perception of the Cooper's yeast, which is the Australian ale yeast, is that it does have banana in its profile, in the fruit profile of that yeast. To my nose, it has, and palate, it has a little bit of banana in it, in its fruit profile, and I think that's coming through into the beer as well. And it really mixes well with that kind of danky melon, fruity. Oh. I would say that since 2019, this is probably the best vintage ale I've had since 2019. As soon as I get in the glass, as soon as I get that glass in my face, I want to pour that stuff straight down my throat. It smells that good. Really excited about this year. I'll keep a few and see how they age over time. But I'm actually going to go out and I'm going to buy more of these, and I'm just going to drink them fresh, because this is a really nice strong ale. This is a really nice, fresh, strong ale, and this can be enjoyed right now, and why not? Now there is one other thing I think I'm noticing, and I think the body is actually a little bit thinner than it has been in years past. And that's always been a bugbear for me. I've always felt like their body's just a little bit too thick, a little bit too syrupy for my liking. But I actually think that's not quite as thick a body as it has been in years past. I could be wrong. It could just be because it's fresh, don't know. But my perception from the 2022 I tried the other day and the previous ones that I've aged the last 3 years to this, definitely this is a thinner body. Not hugely thinner, like I think the older ones were more of a full, but really full body, almost barley wine. I think this is probably like a medium full body, which is kind of nice for a strong ale. You want a strong ale to have a bit of body to it. You don't want a strong ale to be too thin. But in saying that, you know, your strong Belgian ales, they can have a medium, sometimes even medium light body and go down really well. Sometimes too well, so you drink them too quick. The thicker body kind of slows you down a bit and makes you drink it a bit slow, which I think is probably good for an old ale. All right, yeah, this kind of beer. So I'm not going to say much more. I'm just going to finish this now and drink it. But to kind of summarize, that's the 2023 vintage ale, delicious fresh. I really like this fresh. That's a cracking beer. That is a cracking beer. That's as good as I think a strong ale would taste. To be honest, I think that's probably I don't think you can brew a strong ale better than that. I really don't. 7.5%, so I think it would qualify as a strong ale. They call it vintage ale because yeah, you can vintage this. You can put it away and drink it in the years. As long as you cellar it correctly, you can get probably a reasonable product. I don't, as I've already explained. But as a strong ale, I think this is right up there with the best you can buy. I love it. I really love it. Danky melon, fruit, tropical, a little bit of banana, malt forward. Awesome. I'm gonna go out and buy some more. So that's it. That's the tasting between the 2022 and the 2023, the kind of vertical tasting over 2 different days. I think this one's a winner. I really do. And I'm going to buy more and drink it fresh because it's a great strong ale just as it is. And hopefully I can sell the sun properly this time. So that's all I've got to say for this. Thanks for watching. If you've tuned in this far, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you tune in again for the next video. I've got a few more coming out very soon. got a little bit more time now. Winter for me was super hectic with my business, and I just didn't have time. I was so hectic and run off my feet with work. So I've got a little bit more time now. It's eased off a little bit. So I should be able to get some more content out soon. So again, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers. That's a good beer. That's a good beer.